Hi everyone, welcome to the Meet 8 of Learning Data Science. And yesterday, what we discussed about the strings. We discussed the various functions pertaining to strings. And I've also told you guys that how you can operate certain functions within that strings. You have to just write the string name, then dot, and then you can write the function name. Yes. And also, we discussed about some basics of lists, that what are the features of list and how we can define the list. Okay, so I want you guys to comment on the comment section what all are the features of list. And meanwhile, what I will do, I will open the mind map. I hope you guys know about the mind map. And if you don't know, so I am explaining it right now, that the mind map is basically the pictorial representation of data. For example, there are thousands of entries in an Excel sheet. There are thousands of entries in a Google Doc. And if anyone is seeing those doc, he can't be able to gain the insights. So basically, we need a flow chart. We need some mind map so that we can understand. And I had always told you guys to just read the mind map at least 3 to 4 times a day. Why? Because it will not only generate your reading habit, but yes, it will increase your memory, it will increase your basics as well. So it's very simple to open the mind map. Just type Python mind map on your Google, and you can see a link is being opened here. Just click on it, and how to operate it, you can just double click on any of the branches, and you can see the several branches is being opened. So it is so easy to go. And so we will open now the data types in Python, and within the data types, we will open list operations, right? And I've told you guys that what are the various operations pertaining to list is that list is a mutable. Again, list is a ordered of sequence. It doesn't matter how many times we are printing the list. Every time the list will be getting printed in the same order. And another is list can accept all data types. It also allows duplicate values. And yes, we can operate over list through indexing and through slicing. I hope you guys have understood the concept of slicing. We have already discussed in my previous video, that is in strings. And if you haven't watched it, so it's there in my playlist, Learning Data Science. You can go and you can watch it. Okay. And meanwhile, what I will do, I want you guys to read the mind map, and I am opening Anaconda Navigator. And why Anaconda Navigator? Because I have suggested you guys to use Spider. Again, why Spider? Because it's a beginner friendly. Because right now you guys are just at your beginning, and there are various much advanced IDs like PyCharm, VS Code, but VS Code, PyCharm doesn't provides you the flexibility to understand the things in much deeper way. And I've also told you guys that why Spider is important, and why someone who is at the beginning of Python, he should stick to Spider rather than on VS Code or on PyCharm. And Spider also works like a ripple. We can execute the lines one by one, and also it provides various facilities there. So once my Anaconda Navigator is opening, let's go into the mind maps, and let's go through the things of list operations, what we will be going to perform within the list. So yesterday we have discussed about the features. Today we will discuss about the function pertaining to list. And the syntax is quite simple. You have to just write the list name, whatever variable you have assigned to that list, and you have to just write the function name there by adding a dot. Like here you can see this LST variable holds a list of values 1 to 3, and here you have to just write the list name dot and the function name. And within that function name, it's up to you whether you are appending, whether you are pop. Means like It's depend upon the functions, whatever uh, things you wanna carry out with those particular functions and whatever things you wanna operate it. So the basic syntax again, what it is the list name, the variable name, dot, and the function name. So just keep these things in mind, keep the basics in mind, and yes, you can operate various functions pertaining to it. So I hope by this time my Anaconda navigator is already being opened. So I will just launch my spider here and we will continue with the things. You can see here there are various IDs itself in Anaconda Navigator. You can see VS Code, Jupyter Notebook. But yes, you can use any of your choice. But yes, if you are a beginner, then I suggest you to use Spider. But if you are in advanced level, you can use any ID. It's up to you. All IDs are good to go. I think there is some glitch inside my Anaconda Navigator. No, sorry. It's been already opened here. Okay. So what we discussed was we discussed till here. Yeah. We discussed various features pertaining to strings, and there are 7 to 8 features. And I want you guys to just read it and just keep it in mind because you might get an interview question pertaining to this. And also, I have told you guys that list contains various data types. You can see string here. There is a integer value here. There is a float. This is a complex number. And again, this is a boolean. So these are all were the things which we discussed yesterday itself. And today what we will do, we will discuss about the indexing and slicing part. And indexing and slicing is just same as with the strings. So I will just explain in short basically what happens. So whatever the elements is there in the list, and whenever you are starting from left to right, then the indexing will be always positive. And whenever you are starting from right to left, then the indexing will be always negative. And whenever you are starting from left to right, whenever you are using positive indexing, so the first value always start with 0. And whenever you are following negative indexing, whenever you are starting backwards in a decreasing order from right to left, then every time the last value will be denoted by its index as -1. Okay, let me perform some operations pertaining to it. So you can see here I am just executing this line of code. Then what I will do, I will just execute this line of code and you can see that SSS it's getting printed here. And you have to just follow a common syntax. It's just same as the string. You have to just write that list variable name, and within that variable name you have to just use the square brackets, same as it goes with string. And within those square bracket, don't forget to write the index number, whatever index number you are trying to fetch it or you are trying to locate it. Okay. And right now we are following positive indexing. So just let's try with positive indexing. So here, whenever you are whenever you want to fetch the very first value, so in Python or any other programming languages, whether it's Java, C, C++, any language, the number system in this language start from 0. The count, it starts from 0. But in real life, it starts from 1. So keep these things in mind. Whenever you are going to print any first variable, it starts from 0. So here now we will just randomly put any number here. You can write I put here 3, and again when I put any put here 3, so what will happen? It will help us to fetch the fourth value. Why? Because as I have said, indexing start from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3. Every time it's the 4 value here, right? So if I will execute this line of code, then you will see what's the fourth value here. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically this complex number will be getting printed here. So let's try it and let's execute it. So you can see it, the complex number is getting printed here. And when I will start with the negative indexing, and when I will start from right to left, then the very first value which I have told you guys, it starts from -1. It doesn't start from -0. Why? Because 0 is something which is neutral. You can't say positive 0 or you can't say negative 0, right? 0 is 0. We can't assign any, uh, what you can say, uh, any sign to that particular thing, right? So for that reason, the negative indexing, it's starting from -1. So if I will just execute here -1, and when I will execute this line of code, then you will see the very last value, it's getting being printed here, true. And similarly, if I will do -3 here, so you can see -3 is 5.5. Why? Because it's -1, -2, and this is -3. So obviously, this particular float number within that list is getting printed here. And also one more thing, what we discussed is the most important thing. And also whether you are pertaining any a Python developer, means your domain is, or your domain is some in data analyst, your domain is in generative AI, your domain is in data science or AI engineering. It is the most important thing, and it's being asked in every interview is the slicing of string, slicing of list, slicing of tuple. Slicing is the most important thing, and I've also told you guys in the string chapter itself that how important the slicing is. But it's also very easy to go. You have to just follow the simple syntax related to it. You have to just follow the basics, just follow the basics, and yes, you can crack anything, any code. So what the basic behind slicing is, whenever we are writing any first value, any first integer here, so that will be the start value, that will be the start, then it will, we will write semicolon here, then it will be end, and again at the last it will be step. So whenever I'm writing anything, for example here I have written 1, so 1 means it's the starting value. And here I had written 4. So what 4 means? 4 means ending value. I haven't given here any step value. So by default, the step will be 1 because I haven't given anything here, right? And also, I told you guys one thing to remember, that whenever we are giving any end value, so the loop will always go till end -1 time. Means what? Means it's starting from 1, the value of one index will be counted and it will go till 3. Why it will go till 3? Because the end value here is 4, 4 minus 1, it's 3. So definitely the values will be from 1, 2 and 3. These three values will be getting printed. So in list 1, what are the values pertaining to this particular index number? Is like in the first you can say it's 5 because the indexing always start from 0. So 1, 2 and 3. So these three values will get printed here. So let's try it, and let me execute this line of code, and you will see that these three lines of code, sorry, these three values got printed here. Okay. And what if I haven't put here anything? So where the loop will go? I've already explained you guys in the stream. So I want you guys to comment it on the comment section. I will not be explaining or I will not be executing this kind of code. But yes, I want you guys to comment it on the comment section, the answer for this, right? So now we will move on to our next topic. Our next topic is the certain functions pertaining to a string. So the very first function is append function. So what do you mean by append function? Append function is something that if you wanna add inside a list, so what we do, we use append function. And many of you will say that yes, we can combine the list as L plus L1. For example, L is one list and L1 is another list, and we can concatenate as well, right? But the concatenation thing, it always being done within the same data types, that this particular L should be a list and this L1 also should be a list. Then the concatenation thing will work, otherwise it will not work. For example, if in the L I will write here, for example, 1 comma 2 comma 3, and in L1 for example I am writing here any string value. Okay, and if I wanna print here L plus L1, so you will definitely see the error coming here, and the error will be type error, because we can only concatenate list to to list itself. It doesn't matter whether you are writing here a string. Many of you will say that it is a the data type inside this list is an integer, so it can add an integer value also. So just let's try it. I will select this line of code, and when I will execute it, you can say the type error, because list cannot be concatenated into any other data type. So yes, we can add the elements inside a list, but yes, that element should be a list. Then only we can use the add function, the simple arithmetic function, to add the elements. But what if we want to add the different data types? The different data types means, I have explained you guys what are the different data types. In numeric data types, there were five data types, right? There was int, there was float, there was boolean, again there was complex number. So, and the another data type is string. So if you want to add these particular data types, so for that reason we are using append function. So append function will add any data type, any value within the list, and also keep one thing in the mind, that whenever you are using append function, so that particular value will be added at the end. It will not be getting added anywhere in the middle or in the start. No, every time when we add the value, it will get added at the last. Okay, so for example, if I will execute this line of code, so you can see a list. I've executed this, and if I wanna perform append function here, so the basic syntax which I have told you guys always to follow, whether it's a string, whether it's any sequential data types. Data types. What are sequential data types? Which can be operated and which is in order of sequence. So there are three sequential data types. One is string, one is list, another is tuple. Okay. So these are the sequential data types. And whenever we are using any function pertaining to sequential data types, what we are doing, we are writing that particular variable name. We are using dot, and then we are using the function name. So we will apply the same logic here itself. So I will write here a list. I will write here dot append, and I will write here function. And for example, if I wanna perform certain functions, means like append, what it does, it just add the values, right? So I will write here the value name. Similarly, if I will be using some different functions, so I will be writing something different here. So it depends upon function to function. The basics which you have to keep it in mind is the variable name dot and function name. And I hope you guys are making the running notes. Why the running notes is important? Because it will not only increase your speeds, but it will also make you understand more easy way, and these things will be in your mind. And I hope you guys are not just laying on your bed or laying on your sofa and you're just watching these videos. No, you have to keep making the running notes. It's beneficial for you. So yes, just keep making it. And if you had made it, you can share the PDF file on the comment section, and I will give you the feedback pertaining to it. Okay, so now let's move on to the topic. And we have discussed here, we have already given the function, and now let's operate it. That here it's saying that a list is not defined here. Okay, and basically I have already told you guys that Python is a case sensitive language. The capital L and a small l is being treated here, and you can see the error is for that particular thing. Here you can see the capital L is written, I have defined it, but here I am mentioning small l. So it doesn't matter, the name is same, but if the case is different, Python will treat that thing in a different way. Okay. So if I will execute this line of code, and if I will print a list, then you can see the 4, it's getting printed at the last. It's appending at the last, right? If I want to execute again, if you want to see that whether it's being appended at the last or at the beginning itself. So let's execute this line of code again. So when I'm executing this, again I'm executing, so you can see double times 4 is getting printed here. So similarly, if I will execute it again and then I will execute it again, then you'll see that 3 times. It's basically the elements is getting added at the end of the list. Okay. So I hope you guys have understood it, means like what basically the append function is and what basically the append function does it. Okay. And there is also one function which is similar to append, that is extend, right? So we will discuss that as well. So what does extend function does? A list dot extend. And I've also told you guys that if you want to see the documentation of any function here, so you can just, what you can do, you can select this function, you can put control, you can do I, and if you will do control I, so in the help section you will get it. Oh, it's not being operated here, and why it's not getting. Yeah, you can see here, means like the documentation pertaining to every append of function is being displayed here, and these features is not in any other IDs. So for that reason, I suggest you guys to use Spider as you are a beginner, that you can be able to understand all those things pertaining to that particular function. So you can see here the definition is append and then the object. Object means whatever object we are trying to append it. Okay. So now just move on to the extend. And if we are using extend here, and if we are using here 4 again, and let's not take 4, let's take 4.0. Okay. And if I will print a list, so you can see, okay, my bad, every time I'm just assuming that Python can understand, but again Python is case sensitive, so it's not understanding. So you can see here that float object float object is not iterable. Again, what do you mean by iterable? Iterable means something which can be iterated through, something which can be in a loop, something which can be transversed through, right? So what are iterables? Iterables are list, iterables are tuples, iterables are dictionaries, iterables are sets, iterables are again here string. Okay. So I hope you guys have understood the meaning of iterables as well. Again, I'm repeating, what are iterables? Iterable is something in which we can transverse through it. We can go through each element one by one. Like here in the float, we can't iterate through 4, then again point, then again 0, right? We can't divide it into 3 parts. But if it would have been a list, for example, you can see there are 4 values. It can be iterated through. Same it goes with string. We can iterate with Z, A, R, A, 4 items, 4 characters are there in this particular string. So whenever you are using extend function, just make sure that you should use iterable to join it. Okay. So for example, if I will use another list here, and if I will add 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, let's take one Boolean value, and if I will just execute this line of code and then I will print this line of code, then you can see that yes, this is being added at the last. Again, you would be thinking, what's the difference between extend and append? So just try the same example with append. Okay. Instead of extend, I will be writing here append. Okay. And if I will executing this line of code, so you'll see something interesting will be getting printed here. And I hope you guys will enjoy it. Okay. So you can see here on these two output, what's the difference between these two outputs? I want you guys to comment it on the comment section. What's the difference between it? I know if you guys will be unable to do it, I will not leave like uh the string manipulation thing, because I've been already taught there. But these things I haven't been taught, so obviously I will not leave. But I want you guys to identify it. Okay. So I hope you guys till then you have identified it. If not, then just keep focus here. So basically what extend is doing and what append is doing. Extend is adding each element as a separate entity. You can see here 2, 3, 4, and true. Basically, this was a single entity when we considered a list. For example, this list L1 is a single quantity, right? It doesn't matter what's present inside that list, right? If we tell, if we want to check the type of this list one, so what we will do the type and then list one. It will give the answer as list. It will not say that, okay, in this list, the first element is string, the second element is integer, the third is float, and so on. It will not give, like, it will consider a single identity as list. So whenever you are using extend, so extend will always add the elements as a separate identity, as a separate element. It will add it. And whenever we are using append function, so what it will do, it will add as a single identity. You can see here the bracket, the square bracket, which is missing here from 2 till true. You can see the square bracket. Okay, it's being missing here. Okay, so just take a simple example here, so I hope you guys will understand it much better way. Okay, so for example, I am defining a list here, a, and I am putting a value, for example, 1 2 3 and 4, right? And here itself, what I will do, I will just take any another value, b is equal to, I will write a dot append. And in append function, for example, if I want to append any list, right? If I want to append any list, so 5, 6, 7, right? And what I will do again in C, I will use the extend function here, a dot extend. I will write 5, 6, 7. Same here, okay? The same output will be there. And after that, through indexing, I will show you how it's considering as a different element, right? So if I will execute, oh, sorry, my bad. And when I will execute this line of code, so you can see it's being already operated here. So what will be the fifth element of B? This is 0, 1, 2, 3. What will be the fifth element when we are using append function? I want you guys to comment it, because right now I have showed you on the console what it will be there. Okay. So if I will execute this line of code, then you can see that it's not subscriptable. When I will print it, print it here. Yeah, I have to restart my kernel because so these things happens whenever you are using spiders. So just be patient. Just keep. Okay, I have restarted my kernel. And then I just put this kind of code. Then I will link the file. So oh, okay. I haven't understood what this thing happened here. Just let me find the list. Okay. So now if I will execute a dot external info, okay, and if I will print here a of 5, a of the thing, uh, there is some serious issues with my kernel and I don't know, it always is getting glitched towards it. So yes, I will go through it. Means like I will just restart through my computer, and I know it will take much of your time for doing that. So just for now, you have to keep it in mind that what this append and extend function does. Append function uh, adds the value as a different, as a same identity. That identity will be same. For example, this 567, it will be same. And whenever you are using extend, so it will be different here. Okay. My kernel is being stopping. Otherwise, I would have shown you guys. Let's try a last way. If it's not being happened, then we will discuss tomorrow again with these things. Int A of list. Okay, here it's getting up in there. A list, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3. This is the third element. Now let's print the fourth element here and let's execute this line of code here. So you can see the fourth element which is getting printed is 456. But again, it will not happen with the extend thing, right? Why? Let me execute this line of code and now let me print a of, for example, it was 1, 2, 3. First, let us check basically what values a holds. Okay, so you can see here a holds the value of this. So again, I will execute this line of code again so that the memory will get refreshed. And if I'll execute this line of code again, um, and a of 3, 5, a of 5, if I'm printing that, right? Yeah. Right. So when I'm executing this line of code, you can see it's 456. But when I'm executing this line of code, you can see it here that in A, uh, the values were till 1, 2, 3, 4, and yes. So like this, we will discuss it tomorrow. It's and by then, just you guys keep practicing it. Just keep practicing 100 lines of code. It's minimum, but I would suggest 500 lines of code because why? Again, coding is like swimming. If you want to learn swimming, you have to do swimming every day. It same applies with code. So let's meet tomorrow at 8 p.m. Till then, bye bye, good night, and yeah, Jai Hind. So see you guys tomorrow and